Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is Monday. It is July 3rd. You know, Steph, when this show was born, we used to start and essentially end it with a thing called Talkers.
Yes.
Yeah, and we haven't done them in a while.
Yeah, we have it again today.
We do. They're
two.
back.
Yeah, two.
Matter of fact, so today's July 3rd, tomorrow, in anticipation of Independence Day tomorrow, and we want to get you caught up to speed on some activities happening around the area that are especially tonight.
That's right. So starting tonight, I guess there's going to be some fireworks and Helotes.
Yes.
Because some people celebrated over the weekend, and we know that the city of Helotes will hold their Independence Day celebration tonight at the festival grounds. This is at 12,200 block of Leslie Road. So yeah, all their activities will begin at 4
o'clock. So general admission and parking will be free. Fireworks are at 9:15 tonight. We also did just a little bit more homework, and Helotes is not alone. Seguin is having their fireworks tonight as well. They had a celebration over the weekend. The fireworks are scheduled for tonight at 9:30. So Helotes and Seguin both having big fireworks shows tonight versus tomorrow night.
Yeah, the big one tomorrow, this is Woodlawn Lake, and this is the San Antonio Parks Foundation, the city of San Antonio. That's where they're going to hold their celebration. So fireworks, you know, later in the night, but the celebration actually starts at 11 a.m. So this will include food trucks, vendors, live music, and carnival games. And the night will culminate with, of course, the fireworks show.
That's right. And of course, we've got the shows at other places around town like SeaWorld and Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Speaking of Six Flags, their fireworks show is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. And I think SeaWorld's, if I saw right, is actually a little bit later. But all this stuff, there it is, SeaWorld. Yeah, 9:45 tomorrow night out at SeaWorld for the big fireworks show. But we have this whole list that you're seeing right now on your screen on our website at KSAT.com. So check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of options there, so maybe some people want to check them out tonight and tomorrow night.
Right, double up to celebrate America.
Yeah, and I think the weather will work out for that. Go ahead and check in with Justin.
It's looking okay. It really is. So let's get you your fireworks forecast here as we bring on the fireworks, and we'll see if this plays out like it should. There it is. Always in the way. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Careful, Justin.
That was a little scary.
That was cool, though.
90 degrees coming up tomorrow.
You get extra credit, man. Yeah. That was awesome. Very
Yay, bravo, bravo.
We could see a straight storm, but I doubt it. Most everything's going to go off without a hitch. Temperatures will still be warm, obviously, and we'll see some partly cloudy skies. And, it's back. Careful. Setting off the fire alarms in here. Everything looks good, as I said. We do need to talk about what's going on out west. We have a couple showers out there this morning around Del Rio. Seen a few lightning strikes. This is all drifting north and really starting to fall apart. But there's been some good rain out there. We're going to show you the rainfall totals here coming up in just a bit. Over the last 48 hours, really some nice numbers out west, just not here in San Antonio. Here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast. Noontime, 91. We go up to 98 this afternoon, a 20% chance of an isolated shower or storm and partly cloudy skies. Southeasterly winds should be generally pretty light. We'll carry that small chance going into this evening before rain chances go away. Again, that small chance tomorrow. The aquifer did bump up a little bit. We'll take a look at that coming up, and we'll have that entire work week forecast too for you here in just a few minutes. Now we're going to switch over to traffic.
That's right. We have a big problem.
Yes, we had a major accident on the highway. This is 35 southbound is where the accident is. This is near Somerset Road, and people are having problems right there. This is a big one. Big
backup. So if you're, let's call this far southwest side, if you're heading out of San Antonio on I-35, you're going to hit major slowdowns in the southbound lanes. You'll see this is all happening as you're approaching Loop 410. So we're trying to get some more information. I don't know if there's a TransSky camera out in that part of town. I don't think that there is.
You see how the arrows just disappear there, Mark?
Yes,
that means that's shut down.
Completely shut down.
Yeah, so from right there where you see the 35 sign all the way down pretty much 410.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to exit to the frontage road.
All right, so all of us are going to keep an eye on this in this hour, but this happened just a short time ago, and we wanted to let you know. Top stories this morning, a deadly crash last night on the southeast side. Police say around 10 p.m. a silver sedan was pulling out of a parking lot when it was hit by a driver in a white SUV. It happened near 181 and Old Corpus Christi Road. The driver and one passenger in the silver car died at the scene. A second passenger was taken to a hospital. It's unclear if the driver of the SUV will face charges. The names of the man and woman killed have not yet been released.
San Antonio police are investigating a shooting that happened overnight on the southwest side. They say a man was walking to his vehicle when a random person walked up to him and shot him multiple times. Now, the victim was hit once in the arm, and that suspect got away. The man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay, but investigators are still trying to figure out who shot him and why.
Family got a scary wake-up call in the middle of the night when a fire started at their home. This happened around 12:30 this morning at a home on El Sendero, which is a neighborhood near Thousand Oaks and Nacogdoches. According to fire crews, the fire started near a hot tub and a barbecue pit in the back of the house, crawled its way all the way up in the attic, spreading to the rest of the home. A woman and her grandparents live at the home together, and they were able to get out safely. It's unclear exactly what sparked the flames. In your morning headlines, a key member of the Biden administration and a vital part of our economy plans a trip to China.
Plus, another strike could land a big blow to the domestic entertainment industry. Max Massey joins us live in the studio with our morning headlines. And Max, where are we starting today?
Good morning, guys. A lot to talk about, a lot of news from over the weekend, but we're actually starting in Baltimore. Remember, we first reported yesterday there was that mass shooting yesterday. Dozens of people injured. An investigation underway now in Maryland following this horrific situation. Right now, we know an 18-year-old woman and 20-year-old man shot and killed. 28 more people injured after that shooting, and it all unfolded at an annual neighborhood block party. 3 of the 28 people still in critical condition. Here's one of the scariest parts. There is still no information about a suspect or even a motive for the shooting at the time. Police, along with the Baltimore mayor, they're asking for the public's help. The police commissioner says investigators, they're scouring the sprawling crime scene, which spans several blocks, looking for evidence, looking over hours and hours of surveillance footage, but still no suspects in custody. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott outraged, describing the situation as reckless and cowardly.
I want those who are responsible to hear me very clearly. We will not stop until we find you.
Our hearts and prayers are going out to the families, sending out to the families and friends of these victims, as well as the community and our entire city. This is an extensive crime scene. Our detectives are going to be here quite a while. If anyone saw anything or knows anything, please call 911.
As you just heard from the head lead official, investigators have yet to determine a motive in the attack, still trying to figure out if this shooting was targeted or just indiscriminately shooting in the area. Officials urging community members to come forward with any information, any video that you might have gotten on your phone or pictures or videos, help in the investigation. So they believe right now at least 2 shooters were involved, still working to determine if there have been more people firing their weapons. All right, now in more national news, this woman, Janet Yellen, planning a trip to head to China this week. And we've been talking about on this show, the relationship between our two countries, China and the United States, the world's 2 largest economies, well, it's gotten pretty tense, to say the least. We've had warships, we've had airplanes, we've even had Chinese spy balloons. The State Department says the trip is another step for the Biden administration to take to try to improve communications between our 2 superpowers. Treasury official says Janet Yellen's 3-day trip will be both constructive and frank. The official played down expectations, saying they don't expect any significant breakthroughs. Janet Yellen not expected to even meet with the Chinese president Xi Jinping during the trip. Yellen will be the 2nd cabinet level member to travel to China in just the last month. Remember, last month we told you that Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Beijing. All right, back here in the United States, we've talked about travel delays, airports. We've had a record-setting travel weekend. But what about delays at your hotel? Well, hotel workers, thousands of them in Southern California, they're on strike this morning, calling for higher wages and better benefits. The union calling this the largest U.S. strike in the industry's history. 15,000 members of Unite Here Local 11. They say they represent more than 32,000 hospitality workers in Southern California and Arizona, and amongst the Los Angeles, Orange counties really being affected by this strike. Hotel workers, they're demanding a contract negotiation. Like I said, they want higher wages, they want better health care benefits, and they want better workplace protections.
All of this stuff is happening with the backdrop of these hotels making so much money. A lot of them now are making more money in revenue than they were in 2019.
During the pandemic, we were called essential workers. Now there's no pandemic. employers think we are not essential anymore, and they think they can run without us, but we all know that's not true.
Speaking of employers, Marriott, obviously a huge employer, a spokesperson released this statement saying they're going to be working towards what they call a fair labor agreement, and they have protocols in place to keep the doors of the hotels open. And speaking of strikes, another standoff that could really wreak havoc on our entertainment industry, at least for the next few months. We talked about writers, now we're talking about actors. Here's the thing, though. It does seem to be a level of optimism that all this could get worked out. But as we've seen with the writers in Hollywood, the difficulty of coming out with these new contracts, new contract language to cover the age of streaming services and even artificial intelligence. It's making a lot of people doubt if a deal can be reached without a strike. So there are plans for thousands of actors to join the picket lines against studios and streaming services. So they're on hold right now until at least July 12th. But if things don't get worked out, well,
you're going to start seeing a big drop off if the actors take to the streets in new shows on both the traditional networks and the streamers. And you're going to see some of your ceremonies, like the Emmys, go dark.
So if the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists do eventually go on strike, well, they would join the current 11,000 members of the Writers Guild of America. Remember, guys, they've been on strike for about 2 months now, and it really does go back to that contract language. I think we broke it down initially when the writers first went on strike, saying there's so many nuances with the streaming. I mean, everyone's trying to figure out streaming. A lot of the times when a writer writes for a show or a movie, they get money going forward if that's ever syndicated or played forward. But when you're dealing with things like Netflix, Amazon, HBO Max, which is just called Max, great name if I say so myself, you know, it's more complicated because those things can theoretically run in perpetuity.
Sure.
And the writers aren't going to get money from that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, HBO branding is on point there, Max.
I do what I can.
Yeah.
Good point. Thank you very much, sir. Hey, quick reminder, 35 South is shut down on the southwest side at Somerset Road due to an overturned vehicle. All the lanes are blocked. Find an alternate route. Earlier I mentioned that this happened a short time ago. The call actually came out sometime between 7:30 and 7:45 this morning. So hopefully
traffic has been building.
Yeah, and again, there's no camera down there, so we can't really see it.
No, but we'll keep you updated on that. But it looks like it's completely shut down for right now.
Yep, 9:10, 83 degrees coming up on GMSA at 9.
A new grant is helping a local nonprofit accomplish its goal of creating a playground that is accessible to deaf children.
Having a place for deaf kids to play and belong is so important.
Avery Everett explains the challenges that deaf children have at regular playgrounds that we may not realize. And welcome back. It's 9:14. So here's a look at the accident we were talking about earlier this morning. This is a major crash. This is a highway. This is I-35 southbound on the highway at Somerset Road, and this is completely shut down there southbound.
Yep. So fire and police are out there right now, and I can't see the overturned vehicle itself. But of note, two things. One, we didn't know there was a camera out there. Two, it's there. And now we finally can get a look, so you can see that the highway is completely shut down. Frontage Road is moving in that area. Lots of big rig traffic between here and the border, so that's what we're seeing right now in those southbound lanes. If any of this changes, obviously, we will get you updated. We have hundreds of parks here in San Antonio, but just how accessible are they?
One nonprofit is working to build a deaf-friendly playground, and as Avery Everett shows us, a new grant is getting them one step closer to making that happen.
This place is for them.
In this dirt is a big dream.
We have a need where there's really not a place to play.
And it's a dream that Emma Faye Rudkin says she can't believe is coming true.
This is a full circle moment of creating a place for deaf kids to belong.
Rudkin runs Aid the Silent, a nonprofit that helps deaf and hard of hearing kids and teens. And she experienced wanting to belong after becoming deaf at the age of 3. From drawings to dog hugs, Aid the Silent gives children a community, and soon it will give them a safe place to play too.
I always associated the playground as a place that I didn't belong.
Aid the Silent is one of 100 groups across the country getting help from Lowe's. The nonprofit is set to receive $140,000 from the Home Improvement Company to upgrade its current facility. And Rudkin says they're putting it toward an accessible playground.
My earliest memories were on the playground, just wanting to be included.
There are dozens of playgrounds across San Antonio, but just how accessible are they? This plastic slide seems wide and pretty durable, but to kids with cochlear implants, the static you feel going down these slides can actually wipe out any programming.
I love to go on the slide.
Shelby Perez, Catherine Rammel, and Paxton Smith are all a part of Aid the Silent, and they say this space helps them feel seen.
Just to be able to talk and get to know each other and play a lot.
What looks like an empty yard now will soon be a full playground.
Having a place for deaf kids to play and belong is so important.
Turning old dirt into new dreams. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with a live cam. Sun's out, but it's not too hot yet. It's 83 degrees, but I know things will warm up later in the afternoon.
Yes, it will. And we've kind of been watching some showers between here and the border all morning long. Are any of them going to make it to the fringes of San Antonio?
No, not this morning. We could see some isolated stuff pop up again this afternoon, but that stuff's pretty much dying down and it's staying well to the west. Brought some good rain out there. Let's look at the radar real quick and those showers and storms you're alluding to, Mark. Still holding on across parts of Valverde County, but the lightning strikes are really pretty quickly going away here, and we're just left with a few showers in places like Uvalde County and as you get up into Edwards County. This is light stuff. It was heavier earlier, and we'll zoom in a little bit closer here to this activity in Valverde County. For the most part, missing Del Rio here. This is just north of Lake Amistad. And again, just 3 or 4 lightning strikes left, so we know this is all kind of fading away. Good to see some rain on the radar, though. We had some, of course, yesterday. Let's look at some of the numbers as far as rainfall goes. And I want to look over the past 24 hours. So this is just this morning. Brackettville and over towards Del Rio, we did pick up some rain, about 1/4 of an inch up to 1/2 an inch. Okay. Then we're going to add in what we got yesterday. And you'll see that we had quite a bit of rain across the western half of our viewing area. And that red outline, by the way, is the Edwards Aquifer recharge zone. So any rain that falls in there, it's like putting money in the bank. And we'll take that. But you see some of the bigger numbers here. There were some isolated spots where we detected on radar, maybe around 5 inches. There's no ground truth to that, but somewhere in that range, there were some good numbers. Eagle Pass 5.34. That was one of the higher numbers I saw. And at the airport, 1/100 of an inch, that's it. Here in San Antonio, we did not get much. So speaking of that, here's a look at the aquifer. And we've noticed that it's really fallen off since about mid-June. We jumped up a little bit today because of some of that rain that fell in the recharge zone, but not much, not much. We're at 634.1, still stage 2 watering restrictions for sauce customers. So we're at 634.1 today, well below average. We still need some more rain to help us out here, especially with pumping season still going. So here's a look at our futurecast. So those showers, as I said, out west die down. But as we get into the evening hours, this is 6 o'clock, we start to see some of this isolated stuff picking back up. It'll be hit or miss. Most of us stay dry. But if you're lucky enough to get a downpour, you could pick up a quick, maybe 1/4 of an inch of rain. It's not going to be a ton of rain. As we get into tomorrow morning, some clouds around. For your July 4th, I think partly cloudy skies, and then by the afternoon, 5 o'clock, or these spotty showers, hit or miss type stuff. And we'll fast forward to 9 o'clock. That's when fireworks get going. Now, minus a rogue downpour, I think fireworks should be just fine. But this model does show one little shower there, somewhere around San Antonio. We'll see how it plays out. If anything does pop up, that small chance that something does develop, we'll certainly let you know. 83 degrees right now. Dew point is at 70. Southerly winds at 13. And we do have some leftover clouds from all that activity out west, some high clouds moving in. So some clouds from time to time today, and that always helps with temperatures. 83 right now underneath the clouds and where it's been raining. We're in the 70s right now in Del Rio. That's a nice number. 76, 78 in Del Rio, or in Uvalde, I should say. 82 Canyon Lake, 84. With quite a bit of sun for you in New Braunfels, and dew points are in the 70s right now. These numbers come down a little bit this afternoon, although as we get later into the week, humidity does pick up, and so we'll see the heat index get a little bit out of control a little bit as we head into, say, Thursday, Friday. Severe weather risk today, nothing here in Texas, parts of the south and then northern plains. This light green color you see is just general thunderstorm risk, not severe weather, but those pop-up downpours that we were talking about, and that does include parts of San Antonio and parts of Texas. So if you're traveling, know there could be some spotty rain, but it's not going to be the severe stuff. So our planning forecast here, 20% chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Rain chances start to drop off Friday. We're in the 90s most of the week, upper 90s. And as I said, the heat index is going to try to rise Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then it's the weekend where we get those air temperatures back up above 100. Our high returns. I'm sorry to say.
Boo.
Yes.
Steph's saying it's pretty bad.
I know.
I know,
This
right?
is positivity over here. So
We were just so used to the 90s, I guess.
we were.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Justin.
Very disappointing, Justin. Thank you. Right now, 21, 83 degrees.
And coming up, Max Massey shares what a local infectious disease specialist had to say about malaria and mosquitoes in his latest leading essay discussion. Welcome back. It is 9:24. So the Texas Department of State Health Services announced it is aware of only one case of malaria in our state and no infected mosquitoes have been found. That's leading to a lot of questions.
During yesterday's leading essay segment, Max Massey and Sarah Costa spoke with Dr. Jason Bowling, an infectious disease specialist at UT Health San Antonio, about the topic. So Max, what did Dr. Bowling have to say about what's going on regarding malaria in the Lone Star State?
Good morning, guys. So we talked about a lot. You know, malaria really hasn't been prevalent. I said 20 years. He was like, it's really 29 years since we've seen it here in Texas. And so when you see that jarring headline on KSAT, CNN, Fox News, anywhere you watch it, you're like, oh no, malaria is back. Especially, we know tomorrow, Independence Day, people are going to be out and about grilling fireworks. So the doctor advising people to take typical precautions, protect yourself against mosquito bites. You know, it's easy stuff. You put on insect repellent, you try to empty out any standing water that might be around your house. If you have gardens or plants, flower pots, apparently they're a very popular area for bugs. I'm an apartment dweller, don't have a garden, but if you do, watch out. Any sort of standing water, there's a lot of no risk. I mean, I want to say close to no risk. Like we said, only one case, no mosquitoes found infected. Here's the thing, even if the worst happens, it is treatable.
Malaria is a very treatable disease. The important thing is that it's identified and diagnosed, really. That's the key, because the medicines we use are a little bit different than the common antibiotics we use for other types of infections like pneumonia, skin and soft tissue infections. So it's important that people recognize it and identify it, and that's why the CDC's put out this early alert that it is a possibility. The symptoms, people can have fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. They're pretty nonspecific. That's why a lot of times people ask about travel, or now they'll ask about extensive time outdoors.
And guys, we didn't just talk about malaria. Dr. Bowling and us, we talked about a lot. We talked about a new warning of measles found near Fort Worth area. And of course, Mark, you and I just traveled. I saw a lot of people wearing masks on flights, wearing masks walking around. And so we asked about the prevalence of masks in everyday society going forward. The doctor said, fortunately, risks of any virus transmission is low. So if you're healthy, it's not really necessary. But if you were not so healthy, organ transplant, immunotherapy, chemotherapy, fighting cancer, any sort of medical condition, you could be at high risk. And at that point, you could want to wear a mask. That being said, he said masks really could be a fixture of society going forward. And obviously, guys, as I join you pretty much every Monday, we have Leading SA Sunday morning, 8 a.m. We talk to leaders in and out around our community. So if anyone ever wants to hear from someone who is a leader in our community, talk about timely issues, reach out to Sarah Costa or myself.
I know we both just flew international. Interesting that you say that about masks, because I actually saw quite the opposite. I saw this is the fewest masks I've seen on flights in a long, long time.
Really?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But even so, what was it? How long was the flight?
Let's see, Charlotte to New York, a couple hours, but New York to Paris, about six and a half hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too bad.
That's not bad. I was on an 11-hour flight and people were wearing masks the whole time. And I was like, you know what? Good on you. I don't have that attention span.
Absolutely, of course it's
It's a long trip.
it is. All right, glad you're back, Max.
Good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
9:28, 83 degrees. There is more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including how businesses that are selling fireworks are booming right now as people get ready for Independence Day tomorrow. Plus, how to make sure you and everyone around you stay safe.
Plus, while the NBA free agency continues, we'll check out the latest with the Spurs and see how they're getting ready for their first Summer League game tonight.
And welcome back. It's 9:31 again. Here's a look at that major crash there at I-35 southbound at Somerset Road. It looks like the highway is completely still closed off there.
I think just beyond the fire truck, maybe one of those large wreckers may be there. Don't know. This may have involved, Justin, did you hear earlier that this involved a big rig of some sort, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Some sort of, overturned big rig.
All right, so that took a while to get upright, perhaps, and hopefully we are at the nearing the end of this problem, but traffic is making its way pretty easily on the frontage of 35 South there at Somerset. Justin, thank you. With the 4th of July tomorrow, business is booming for those who sell fireworks.
Camelia Juarez spoke with local business owners and shoppers buying fireworks who shared some of their safety tips for a fun 4th of July.
Every summer, the July sky shines bright with fireworks.
I'm looking forward to the big booms and the fireworks show.
But it's also a busy time for firefighters.
Just be very careful, and fireworks safety is so important. And all the yellow tags here, buy one, get one free.
Scott Quidley, selling fireworks in East Bexar County, says sales are up now that the burn ban has been lifted.
We got the little chickens down here.
Now he can sell bottle rockets again. Quidley urges everyone to be cautious.
And those can be dangerous specifically because you don't know where they're going. They can go anywhere. They can land in grassy areas, and they go high, and then where they fall, that's where it's dangerous.
Although there's no burn ban, it's been a hot and dry end of June.
There we go.
One family buying fireworks say they water their lawns multiple times several days before Independence Day.
I always warn my neighbors, say, hey, can you just turn your sprinklers on? It just kind of ensures everyone's safety. Nothing's going to be dry.
Melissa says she lives in a smaller neighborhood, so she didn't buy fireworks that would spark fire.
We got the smaller, lower to the ground kind of flyers. We don't want them to go over anyone's house and keep it a little bit more controlled.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
And let's look out there with a live cam. I guess we're warming up a little bit because I see less clouds out there to protect me from the sun.
Not a lot of natural shade, at least in the moment. We'll have some off and on clouds today. It'll help some. Temperatures, I think, they'll still make their way up into the upper 90s this afternoon. Let's check back in with the radar because we still do have a little bit of activity on authority radar, but it's really quickly starting to go away. We've lost all of our lightning strikes now. So that little storm north of Del Rio, pretty much gone. Still some light rain holding on across parts of northern Uvalde County, Real, and Edwards counties, but nothing here in San Antonio. We don't expect much until we get into the afternoon. Then we may start to see a few more showers and storms popping up. The bulk of the cloud cover is west of town, so Rock Springs and Del Rio is enjoying some overcast skies. We're seeing quite a bit of sun here in San Antonio, and that is allowing temperatures to warm up. 83 right now, 84 in New Braunfels, 85 down there in Cotulla, and low 80s for the most part, with quite a bit of humidity this morning in and around San Antonio. So our KSAT 12-hour forecast, 91 at noontime, 96 at 3 p.m., 98 4 p.m. That's your high temperature, and we will put in a 20% chance of a shower or storm this afternoon. And then we'll keep that 20% chance going through about 9 p.m. With temperatures cooling down into the upper 80s by 10 p.m. Today marks an important anniversary. We're going to look back at Big Flood back in 2002. More on that in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. NBA free agency is still underway, and the Spurs have their first summer league game later today.
Max Massey is back to talk morning sports. Hey.
Morning.
Guys, the NBA has really become a 12-month season. I mean, you can't stop looking at the TV because free agency, obviously, I'm just going to say it. I know people might give me some backlash. Spurs are not competing for a championship just yet. So the free agency moves might not be as exciting as, say, I'm not going to throw out any names. We'll say the Nuggets because they're the reigning champs. All right, but there is a lot happening. So Brian Wright, we're going to start with the GM talking about current starters. Brian Wright came out and said Zach Collins will be on the team next season. Now, he had a specific deadline Friday to waive him before a $7.7 million contract became fully guaranteed. Then, move on to point guard. Trey Jones agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal. Champagnie, he agreed to a 4-year, $12 million deal to stay with the Silver and Black. And then Mamu, the man that we really started seeing come up in the last couple games of the season, he's staying with the Spurs for at least one more year, $2 million deal. And then this next one gets a little confusing, so you got to stay with me. There was a 3-team trade. Spurs, big part of that trade, they actually were able to acquire 2 players, including Cedi Osman and Lamar Stevens. Shouts to Penn State. And we even got a future second-round pick out of it. But here's the big deal. A lot of people know this man right here. Biggest, quote-unquote, free agent that we got. This was the number one piece of business that we needed to get done. Signing Victor Wembanyama putting pen to paper. Steph's giving a little fist pump, signing the rookie deal. The Spurs and Wemby taking care of business over the weekend. Victor officially signing the team's offices. The Spurs sharing this hopefully historical video on social media. Wemby signed his first contract with the Silver and Black. Brian Wright saying he was with Wemby, sealing the deal. The Spurs didn't really need to share any of the details of the contract. I think it was $55 million, but when you're a rookie, you're kind of just locked into it. But remember, Wemby played professionally in France since he was just 15 years old. 19 last season, already leading that French club. Met 92 to the French finals, declaring for the draft, consensus #1 overall pick. He's got a great resume, and he's bringing it to San Antonio.
Yay!
So here we go. Okay, we're going to talk about if Wemby's going to play this summer. He will. We'll get there in a second. But the Spurs are going to be playing today. They're playing the California Classic. The roster led by Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, 2 of the rookies from last year, 2 of the 3 first-round picks from last year. Other names you might know, Dominic Barlow, Julian Champagnie, who just re-signed with the Spurs. Both Spurs last season. 2023 second-round pick, Sidi Sissoko, and former Longhorn. Oh, here we go. Rice, all part of the 16-man roster. They're in California. The Spurs like Champagnie. They rewarded him, like we said in the beginning, 4 years, $12 million. Pretty good. Earned himself a guaranteed contract. Who doesn't love a guaranteed $12 million? So you might be saying, how much are the Spurs going to play? What are they going to play when? We have those answers. 2 games in the California Classic. Today, taking on the Hornets, who are just sold. No more Michael Jordan there. Kind of, he's a consultant. Then Wednesday, taking on the Lakers. Remember the Western Conference Lakers. Games tip off 7 p.m. The Spurs then head to Vegas. 4 games, at least 4 games. Friday, July 7th, Charlotte again. Sunday, the 9th, taking on Portland, 7 p.m. Tuesday, 11th, Washington, 9:30. Friday, 14th. But here's the thing. The Silver and Black recently announced preseason home games at the AT&T Center. October 13th, the Heat, then back-to-back games, Rockets, 16th and 17th. Before we go to the Austin Spurs, I want to say one thing. We are told that Wemby may be playing in the Summer League at least a little bit, and we hope to see him in the Vegas Summer League. All right, a lot of the Spurs we know and love have actually played for the Austin it used to be the developmental league. It's now called the G League. It's the whole thing. Regardless, they have a new head coach, and we care because a lot of players go there. They get a lot of time. They learn how to play basketball. New coach, Coach Voigt, 9th head coach for the Austin Spurs franchise. Most recently, he was actually head coach for Zamalek, I hope I'm saying that right, in the Egyptian Basketball Super League for 1 season. And we've had some pretty notable Spurs who have played in Austin.
Right.
Danny Green, first one to ring the bell.
Yeah.
Champion,
That's
Danny
true.
Green.
Okay, and the other cool thing about the Austin Spurs coaching staff, Tony Parker's brother is going to be one of the assistant coaches for the Austin Spurs.
That works out.
Yeah.
Look, I think it was RJ Marquez. Shouts to RJ. He has off today, but we're going to give him love anyway. He posted a picture, Tony Parker and Wemby hanging out, watching game tape, seemingly at breakfast. So already getting the work in. Mark, I know you said that you're going to be a mentor for Wemby, but you and Tony can share time.
Yeah, Mark brought him back to the States.
Brought him back from France. Thank you, Mark. We should all thank Mark for that.
You're welcome. You are welcome, San Antonio. Max, thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Right now, 9:40, 84 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
As we head to break, here's a look at some of the activities going on at public libraries around our city. So today from 1 to 2 at the Pruitt Branch Library, kids 9 to 12 years old can do some crafts, creating tie-dye designs with Sharpies. And if you're a gamer, you can head over to the Tobin Branch Library from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. today to play Dungeons and Dragons. So for a look at all the events scheduled for today at different public libraries, just head over to the KSAT Kids section of KSAT.com.
And we have good news, folks. About 2 hours after it happened, a big rig rollover has now cleared. This is I-35 South at Somerset Road, which is just inside Loop 410. Now, the highway is clear, but we haven't seen traffic yet on those southbound lanes. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Thank you, TransGuide. We'll be right back. Zoo Cam. It's time for Zoo Camp. The flamingos are flamingoing.
They're flamingoing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we have a large flamboyance to the right.
I noticed most of them are in the water. The last time we saw, they were just
Right.
kind of like, walking around the ground. But
they're also, a lot of them are in the shade there.
Yeah.
And they found a real nice shady spot. But it's always a great day to go to the zoo, right?
yeah. Is that a? Oh,
It's a duck.
I thought it was a vulture.
Some unknown creature. I don't know what kind of bird that was.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it was a duck. I don't know what that was.
It's a big bird.
It's a large bird.
A big bird.
Not
Big Bird from Sesame Street,
bird.
but a big
Avoiding
bird.
copyright issues whatsoever.
Of course.
Happy birthday to our Lee Waldman.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yep.
Yes.
She's coming in.
Happy birthday.
So her desk. Well, not to give anything away. There are things on your desk waiting for you if you're coming in today.
Okay, I'll have to walk around to that
Yeah,
side of the newsroom.
it's a fun part.
I saw you earlier, but I missed all this stuff on her
there's
desk.
some fun stuff there. So yeah,
Cool.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Guys, I want to take you back to 2002. Y'all probably remember this when we had the big flood here in San Antonio. Ton of rain. And this is what I think is fascinating about this flood is that they had an idea that the Canyon Lake Dam wouldn't hold, and it did not. Started to spill over. Now, this was July 4th, so if we're going back to July 3rd, this is when things were just starting to ramp up. But 25 to 35 inches of rain in the hill country and the Canyon Lake Gorge was formed. So the power of that water actually formed a new gorge there in Canyon Lake, and that's from that 2002 flood. Sadly, 9 lives were lost during this, but it's a good example of what can happen. This was a year that was really, really dry, and then all of a sudden the rains came, and that was the end of that. So we know that even during a drought period like we're in now, all it takes is one big event, and then we start dealing with flash flooding. So we have to be so very careful. But that was back in 2002. And as we look at the authority radar right now, not much out there, just some light showers in the hill country, a few dying showers in Valverde County. We're pretty much done with this activity. It's going to probably take until the afternoon for things to kind of redevelop as we get into, say, 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Look at Futurecast here, and yes, those showers die down, and then by 6 o'clock, just some spotty activity here and there. Most of us will stay dry. This is kind of a lottery type thing. If you're lucky, maybe you get one of these showers. Then as we get into tomorrow morning, a few showers out west, and then by tomorrow afternoon, same story. Then we'll fast forward to 9 o'clock when fireworks are likely going off at this point. It does show one lone shower there. We'll see. I don't think our festivities are going to be interrupted by rain unless we just get one rogue downpour. I can't completely rule it out, but I doubt it. KSAT 12-hour forecast, noontime 91 today, 95 at 2 o'clock. 20% chance of rain as we head into the afternoon, 98 the high temperature at 5 o'clock. And then we fall down into the low 90s by 9 p.m., 89 at 10 o'clock, and mostly cloudy. If you're doing some tubing next few days, we've been reporting on the Guadalupe River. Still not great. Flows at about 6 cubic feet per second. In Kerrville, Comfort, not much better. In Spring Branch, the flow is close to 0. A reminder, that does not mean there's not water in the river. It just means it's not flowing. And so it's not been a good situation with the Guadalupe River. Now, as you get past the dam, it does pick up. Obviously, in New Braunfels, 52 cubic feet per second, but this is still well below the average. You can still do some tubing. It's just not ideal conditions. 83 right now. Dew point is at 70. Southerly winds at about 13 miles per hour. And you see the cloud cover out west. Quite a bit of it. That's going to help with temperatures out there. San Antonio, at the moment, still seeing mostly clear skies. 83, 85 Pleasanton, 86 in Kennedy. Underneath the clouds, 75 right now. Rock Springs, one of the cool spots. And temperatures mostly in the 80s here around the metro area. As we look at the dew point trend over the next 5 hours or so, dew point should fall some, not as much as we'd like, but there will be a heat index still this afternoon. Here's a look at that forecast. 98 is what we're calling for. Heat index somewhere around 101. A little worse in Houston, 104. More moisture there. 107 is what it will feel like in Corpus Christi later this afternoon. So still hot across the state. 98 tomorrow, 97 Wednesday, 96 Thursday, 20% chance of rain in the afternoon. We drop it off to 10% chance Friday, and then by the weekend, we've got triple digits. 101 Saturday, 101 on Sunday. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. YouTube has become a big part of our lives online, and a new documentary coming out soon takes a look at how the platform is affecting society.
CNN's Rick Domangelo gives us a peek at the documentary, which was directed by Alex Winter, who you might remember from his role in the Bill and Ted movies.
Here's finally a service where if you want to get a political message out there, if you want to get some kind of message out there,
I fell down the alt-right rabbit hole.
You can use this platform.
The rise of YouTube and its influence on viewers is the subject of the YouTube effect.
I'm like this introverted kid. I can do this on my own, in my bedroom, upload it, people can enjoy it.
The film was written and directed by Alex Winter and produced by Gail Ann Hurd.
I really wanted to show in a kind of a temporal way how quickly the internet and these platforms took a hard fork right turn into monetizing extremism.
Social media has changed the world in so many ways. And there hasn't really been an examination of YouTube, what it means both in terms of the positives, and there are many of those, as well as how it's changed the international discourse.
Everything on YouTube changed when the recommender algorithm was introduced.
Through the algorithm, which ultimately, and it's not just true of YouTube, but it really is designed to push the viewer down rabbit holes that keep them online, because that's how these free platforms make money.
What we were trying to do emotionally was sort of show this Frankenstein monster that in a way got away from the creators, right? We're not really out to demonize anyone here or to say that there was kind of an intentional individual agenda to create a beast like this, or that the beast is all bad. The beast is a multi-headed, and some of those heads are good. But it was to show, oh my gosh, we lit a fire. The fire went out of control almost immediately, and the bulk of the movie is about that fire.
If we don't figure out this problem, we're going to lose what it means to be human.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Wow, Alex Winter more or less looks the same as he did back in Bill and Ted.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, right? Just a smidge older. At 9:51, 85 degrees.
We'll be right back.
All right, one last look at the forecast. We'll see temperatures up around 98 today. There's a small chance of a shower or storm this afternoon, and that really is the case all the way through Thursday. A little lower chance Friday, and then triple digits and high pressure return this weekend.
All right, so the summer movie season is officially here. Indiana Jones 5 already opened.
Yeah. And
we have a list of some of the big releases coming out for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, we're excited about this. Let's start with one that I'm very excited about, Mission Impossible. This is Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm excited because even though I probably forgot about all the other Mission Impossibles, they kind of, run together. I'm excited because Tom Cruise in the last Top Gun, it was really a good movie, so looking forward to that one.
That was July 14th. July 21st, it's Barbie versus Bombs. Oppenheimer and Barbie open the same weekend.
Woohoo! I'm excited about Barbie, of course.
July 28th, Haunted Mansion. That's the Disney ride come to life.
Yeah, that one looks cool as well. A little scary as well.
All right, next up, so we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out August 4th, and the same weekend, Jason Statham is back in Meg 2, The Trench.
Is that the giant shark?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that's it.
All right, video game movie August 11th, Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and then Mark kind of told me about this one. I couldn't remember August 18th. Blue Beetle, but you said that's DC, right?
It's a DC superhero. And then Denzel Washington is back in his role September 1st in Equalizer 3.
A lot of options. You can always go to KSAT.com to see all of those there. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day. See you back here tomorrow morning for the 4th.